Well, hello, Freds. My name is Joseph, and today, well, tonight actually, I guess it is technically today because it is 12:30 in the AM at the time that I'm recording this, we are revisiting some Outriders. Yes, you heard that correctly, and you're reading the title properly. Outriders. I think the last video that we posted in regards to this game was actually my trickster build, and I told you that I would plan on posting more of that, or maybe I didn't even post my trickster build. I don't think I did ever post my trickster build. I think it was just the whatever that thing is called, the in-game activity, my first ever run of it, and I'm gonna do another one right now, and I'm gonna play on my Technomancer just because that's who I was on. Let's see. I'm just gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna bump this down a couple levels here, just because it's been a while, you know. But yeah, I had said that I was planning on uploading a lot more gameplay for this and content in regards to Outriders, and then Outriders was sort of, how do I say this, a powdered keg. It was very difficult to want to sit down and continue to play this game with everything that was going on with it, and that being the whole, what's it called, the whole wipe your inventory glitch that was going on. I was terrified to start playing this game because of that, because I didn't have as much stuff, but I still didn't want to, I still didn't like the idea of losing what little stuff I did have, because I didn't want to like sit there and have to, you know, grind for it again. So that's pretty much the whole reason why I kind of just like stopped playing the game. I actually uninstalled it too because I needed more space on my computer, and I wasn't really playing it at all. And if by the way, if I pause a lot, it's because I'm doing this live. And it's been a minute since I've like sat there and done a live commentary. But yeah, so we're playing Outriders. I re-downloaded it the other night because, let's be real, I'm running out of things to play, and I was like, well, I haven't played Outriders in a long time. The other reason is they recently released patch notes saying that they upped the drop chance for legendaries by quite a bit. So I kind of wanted to test that out. I have yet to complete one of these. What is this called? I cannot remember for the life of me what this is called. I was looking at it directly, and I didn't even think to actually like read it and check and see what it was called. But I have yet. Oh, an expedition. That's what it is. Okay. I have yet to do one of these and complete it and see what kind of good loot comes out of the final box. I've never done this one before, by the way. And I think it's because I looked at the gold time and it seemed like it was an infinite amount of time. So I don't know where this one is going. Fortunately, I haven't seen an animal yet, so that means there's no birds that fly around. Not that that would necessarily be a problem for the Technomancer, but yeah, we'll just keep on going through this for the first time together. I don't know how many people really still even play this game. I'm sure there is a small community that still plays this game, but I certainly do not play this game as much anymore. It says clear the cavern, but I don't see any guys. Oh, okay, they're down here. But yeah, so I mean, and there are some things I want to talk about with this game and why I don't think that it did as good as it deserved to. First of all, the main issue with this game is the fact that it's not a live service game. So that means that it potentially won't have any future content coming out, which right off the rip is a big red flag for me, personally. Something that I'm super into and look forward to in games is, first of all, if it's open world, which I know is like kind of the popular thing right now as far as like games in general go, and games that are online or just co-op in general, and games that have developers that listen and fix things when they need to be fixed, and also update the game as frequently as possible. So off the bat, this isn't an open world game. It is quasi open world. Like, there are some open world aspects to it ish. You can kind of go back to different areas as much as you want to, but it's not necessarily kind of like let's say like GTA 5 or Skyrim or anything of that caliber. I didn't include Destiny in that list because the more I've been thinking about it recently, the more I've realized that Destiny is more linear than I had initially expected. Sure, the planets that you can go to in playable spaces are very large and take some time to drive your Sparrow all the way across them, and you can go to them whenever you please. But when you have to kind of return to a hub and look at a map and fast travel to an area in order to explore, I don't know if I necessarily consider that an open world game. So the more I've been thinking about it recently, the more I've realized kind of that Destiny 2 is more linear than I ever imagined. When I'm thinking open world, like I said before, I think more along the lines of like Skyrim or GTA 5 or I can't even think of another open world game right now. Like The Witcher, I guess, which I've never played, so I could be wrong, but yeah. So that was obviously a big red flag for me with this game right off the rip. Is I feel like I read somewhere before it ever came out that it was going to be an open world looter shooter kind of deal, which it definitely nailed the looter shooter portion of it. But as far as like the open world aspect of it, it's sort of kind of an open world. Like, it's very, I feel like they use that term very sparingly because, I mean, it isn't necessarily open world at all if you play through the campaign. And I'm thinking about it more, and I actually have played this expedition, but like one time. But yeah, so, and then the other huge red flag for me was the fact that it's not a live service game. Because, in all honesty, I have been dumping all of my time into Destiny 1, and as much as people like to complain about Destiny 1 and 2, and as much as people like to complain about those games, their developers are solid. Bungie is a solid crew of developers, and they're doing the best they can with the resources they have. And the fact of the matter is that they keep on updating the game constantly. While they haven't added a new Crucible map in like whatever 600 days, it's not a big deal to me because they're consistently updating the game every 3 months at least with new content, and that's something that I really appreciate. It's a game that I can just sit there and grind, and I'm not gonna start playing WoW now because I know that that's like the grindiest game ever. So it's nice to have that kind of in-between game that is Destiny, where I can choose to like kind of grind or kind of not grind. And Outriders, unfortunately, once you get to World Tier 15 and then whatever the final tier is for expeditions, and then you get your final build, that's it. So it just doesn't really seem like, I think this game full price was $60, or it could have been $40. I'll add it in post if I was right and assuming it was $60. But I definitely don't think that it was worth the $60 or however much it was. I think this is definitely like a $20 to $30 game, just because there isn't much in the game. Because when they put themselves in the open world looter shooter category, my mind immediately goes to two competitors, and that's Borderlands and Destiny. And Borderlands perfected the looter shooter open world genre, and I don't think that they're ever going to have any kind of competition. The other thing I did not like about the community, I guess, in this game is the fact that they kept on comparing it to Destiny 2. I know I've been doing the same thing the whole entire time, but I've also been talking about the differences mainly. There's not many similarities besides the rarity system in this game. So I don't understand. I never have understood why people called this like the Destiny killer or compared it to Destiny. Maybe because we travel to a different planet and get superpowers, but like I guess that's similar, but I just don't see it, honestly. But at the time being, like, once you've finished all 4 characters or like, I mean, that's obviously a grind. Like, you can easily dump like 200 to 300 hours in this game just doing that. But the process is extremely repetitive, and depending on how you go about getting that way, you could end up just doing the same activity over and over and over again, and you would get there the same as someone just doing every different expedition. And I'm honestly just not a huge fan of that system, and it's honestly what's kind of like started to bog down Destiny for me as well. Because I'm honestly getting bored. I like the fact that there's new content every 3 months, though. That's always nice. I always grind it really hard for like the first couple of weeks, as long as it keeps me interested, and then like come back at the end of the season and grind the shit out of it again. That being said, let's see what kind of loot we get from this. We did get gold, or tier 3, whatever it's called, and it is a couple tiers lower than me, so it won't really matter, but we'll see what we get. Outrider detected, that's me. Nothing came out of it? Oh, there it is. Okay. It's been such a long time since I've done this. Interesting. I see a grand total of 0 legendaries, and I saw one rare purple, whatever the purple rarity is called. I'm not sure if it's because I'm on a lower tier or what, but yikes. But that's pretty much going to be it for me. Final thoughts, I'm probably going to uninstall this game again. Maybe I'll play it for a little bit after this. I don't know. This game on paper, I feel like was a really good idea, but I sort of feel like it was poorly executed. With the whole lack of content, that's just the biggest thing for me, is just the whole lack of content, because it sort of doesn't give you a light at the end of the tunnel. You're sort of kind of just like looking and seeing the end of the game's life cycle like right away. Especially, I haven't really been paying attention too much, so I could be off base saying this, but I haven't seen the developer say anything about DLC being in the works. It's mainly just been them squashing bugs. So we'll see if this game is going to be another Anthem, and if not, fantastic. I will come back when they add more content, and if it is the case, then oh well, I predicted it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, or enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.